Hey guys, here is a very simple way to loop different things with a lattice and the copy rotation constraint. We will make this kind of abstracted sculpture and animate it, so let's dive in. Starting with a cylinder, we can remove the caps view, tap into edit mode and add a couple of edge loops with Ctrl R. We can set how many from here. Press 3 to switch to face selection, and by holding Alt we can select face loops. Select a couple of these rings and delete them. To make the bending effect, we will be using lattice. Scale it to a little bit bigger than the cylinder, and from here we can control how many cuts we need on the different axes. Grab the cylinder and add a lattice modifier so we can make the connection with the lattice that we just created. If we tap now into the edit mode, that's what we have, and it's basically something like a grid of vertices that we can hook to a mesh and use it to make deformations. Jumping to the front view, Alt Z for the X-ray mode so we can select what's behind. Press O to enable proportional editing, this option right here, and let's scale down these vertices on the Z axis by pressing S then Z, this as well. Scale up the whole thing a little bit on Z. And let's hide the overlays for now so we can see what we are doing with the other modifiers. Select the cylinder and add solidify with more thickness. Co-opt this and add the bevel modifier. Lower the amount and increase the segments. Finally, to smooth out everything, we will be using subdivision surface with 3 levels for the viewport and for the rendering. Shade smooth and enable auto smooth from here. We've got the main thing, so let's add an icosphere with 3 or 4 subdivisions. The shortcut to add subdiv modifier is Ctrl and the number of the subdivisions you want to add. Turn back on the overlays so we can select the lattice with the other objects and move them there. Add a cube for something like pedestal. Grab these and rotate. But disable subdivision from the viewport, otherwise we will be lagging too much. Just rotating and trying to find some nice angle for the animation. Hide the lattice and let's tap into edit mode. From here we can make this modifier visible in edit mode so we have a better idea of what we are doing. Then just select and delete a couple of faces. This was the front view, and we can go to the back view and delete a few more. When it comes to the animation, the tricky part is to animate it on the local axis, because we already rotated, but there is a very simple solution for this. Let's first set up the frames to 30 frames per second, and with 300 frames, we have 10 seconds of animation. Just make sure to set the animation default interpolation to linear from preferences if you want the same speed to the whole animation. So the trick is to add an empty, animate it, and copy the rotation of the empty. With the empty selected, offset 1 frame before adding the keyframes, so we have that seamlessly looping animation without duplicating frames. Go to the end of the animation, change to 360 and add another keyframe. Grab the cylinder now. Go to the Constraint tab and add Copy Rotation, then pick the empty from here. Looks messy, but that's because we only need the rotation on the Z axis and the local space of the owner. And that's how we set the animation. Moving on with the camera, if we add it from the front view, we'll be aligned to this view. Open one more window, remove some of these things so we can set the camera view here. With the camera selected, we can increase the focal length to 100. Add a plane and duplicate it for a background. We can set up some of the render settings, change to cycles and switch to GPU if you have this option. Enable denoise, 64 samples for the viewport. We can pick any noiser from here. Render samples to 128 and we can change this to the rendering preview. For the light, we can use simple plane with emission. Set up here the shader editor, add new material, delete the principal BSDF and add emission. Plug it there, increase it. For the floor and the background, simple gray material. Link the materials. Let's add one more light by duplicating the plane and move it there on the side. We can focus on only what's inside the frame by increasing the camera /2. The camera have to be selected for this option. Here we can make the composition a little bit more interesting by adding some depth. So grab this plane and in edit mode press Ctrl R and scroll the middle mouse button to add a few edge loops. Select these faces and extrude a few times. We can press C for circle selection and easily select and delete these faces. Going back to the shader editor, with the sphere selected, add a new material. Increase the metallic. We can add a layer weight and a color ramp. Plug everything into the base color like that, so we can get this gradient transition. Pick whatever colors, and we can move with the cylinder. Increase the metallic again. Here we are doing something similar, but with the ambient occlusion node this time. Adding a noise texture for the roughness. You need to have Node Wrangler add-on enabled from preferences, so you can connect it with the mapping by pressing Ctrl T, that's a shortcut. Color ramp and plug everything to the roughness. Holding Ctrl Shift and clicking on any of these nodes can give you a better idea of how they actually look like. We can stretch the texture on some of these axes to get something like a brushed metal effect. Turn back the subdivision to set up the material properly. Copy this material, then create a new one and paste it so we can add it to the different parts of the mesh. In edit mode with L, we can select whole parts of the mesh and assign the new material that we just created. Tweak the material. Change the texture coordinate to normal. Tweak some of the noise texture settings. In the render tab, change the color management look to high contrast. Tweak the light if needed. And move on with the cube material, but let's first add a bevel. Maybe rotate it slightly. Create a new material and add a Voronoi texture and connect it to the mapping in the texture coordinates. Add a color ramp. It all goes to the base color. Change to constant for the effect we're going with this one. Control it using the parse. Increase the scale. With Ctrl B, we can select only specific areas of the viewport we want to render. Add noise texture for the roughness, and we can use the same mapping setup. Color ramp. We have to plug it here. Click some of the settings. And let's mix it with another BSDF. We can just duplicate this one, only change slightly the base color. Ctrl B and outline back the whole frame. Select the camera and up depth of field. Enable show limits and adjust the distance to something like this. Then decrease the f-stop. Maybe rotate the cube like that. For the animation, we can go to the output tab and choose where to be saved from here. file format to FFmpeg video, under encoding, container to MPEG-4, and output quality to perceptually lossless. Ctrl F12 to render the whole animation, and that's what we created. There are so many things that can come out of this technique, so I hope you find it useful and learn some, and I hope to see you in the next one.